Welcome to the Smoke That Thunders Off Air. And we've had the privilege to interview our guest girlfriend before. Now we've got Mr. Sasha himself, someone that I've known for, I think, over 2 years now. We were part of one of the worst football teams ever assembled. But now today we're both watching hockey. Would have loved to watch him play because I think he's one of the uh, better players in the newly formed Hoso hockey team. So Sasha, how did it feel having all these talents in your hands and in your feet, but then being forced to watch?
Man, to be honest, it's not really good sitting on the sidelines while you watch your team getting smacked or bashed. But I mean, it's always a learning lesson. You learn a lot while watching, so it's a good take for me as well. And as much as I'm injured, I still get to see what the team needs to improve on, as well as myself.
So you get to be coach. and then the second question is, hockey is generally a shorter sport, but you are a giant of a man. Everyone looks at you and says, "This is a basketball player." How did you get to hockey, man, with your height?
To be honest, I mean, it was from junior school. So that's one of the first sports I started to play, and I instantly fell in love with it. So from there, I just picked that up, dropped pretty much every other sports that was there. But if you ask me to play around with any of these other sports, basketball, football, tennis, I mean, I can pick it up.
So you're generally a sports person, and I know that for you to be a sports person, you need that gene of competitiveness. So this is a newly formed club, and I know you guys are what we call the growing pains of your journey. So as a competitive person who wants to win every single game, how do you feel when you don't win?
It's tough. It's tough to take away, man. You know, it's never easy to lose. But as I said, it's always a learning lesson. So we take it as it goes. Of course, you want to win. You have those spells where you are doing pretty well. And then due to inconsistencies with players, with injuries and stuff like that, it becomes a bit difficult to win. So yeah, I mean, we take it as we go.
And I think that's a really good answer. And I want to ask, because I know you have great knowledge in sports, what do you think is more important, the tactical aspect of games? Because everyone is, because we're exposed to football and other sports, everyone thinks they're a tactician. But then not all of us are tacticians. What do you think is more important, the tactical aspect or personnel? Because I understand you guys practice twice a week, which is very different from maybe when you were doing it in Zim, where you could practice every day and everyone who practiced would play their best. So what do you think is better, the personnel or the tactical stuff?
I think personnel is as important, because if you have people that don't really know what their tactics are or how we go about the tactics, it's still going to be a lose-lose situation. So I think they're equally as important. You need to have the personnel who know what tactics are being played, and you also need to have the tactics to counter the opposition.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, and my next question is on indoor hockey. This is the first time in my entire life I've ever watched indoor hockey. It looks faster, it looks more intense, it looks more technical. So as a person who's played field hockey for the majority of your life, and I don't know if you've had the opportunity to play indoor hockey because you've had an injury for quite a while, what are the things you fear, or what are the things you're looking forward to indoor hockey?
I mean, let me start here. I've played hockey pretty much all my life, and I was blessed enough to actually have coaches that took me in to their teams, and we used to play indoor and field for at club level while I was a youngster. So I've had the chance of playing indoor, and unfortunately at this point in time, because of the injury, I haven't really played for this part of the season. But as to just to answer your question, what I look forward to is probably, I mean, jamming with my mates, man. It's always a pleasure. You got guys coming in from Lublin, from Katowice, all over the place, and it's always a good vibe, just playing with the guys. Yeah.
And I know, there's a pretty strong bond between you and obviously the Zimbabwean players and also the Polish players. What's the dressing room like? Because we actually interviewed Matthew, who was head boy last year. And, they are so different stage. I think you guys have every age group in this team. You've got people like Mia and Bartosz who retired 15 years ago, and they're back on the court. So how does it feel, and what's the mood like in the dressing room when there's such a big age range?
I mean, you have to be smart about it. Good thing is we have a good foundation, what we've learned from when we were back in Zim. And so we just take that in coming into the dressing room. You address things as they are. Youngsters are always going to be youngsters, so youngsters need to listen. And of course, if you're a youngster and grown-ups are talking, you just have to respect that. So there's an element of respect that's there. We keep that in the dressing room, no matter what. And it's always good to, just keep that in.
And one thing that I always like to ask sports people is, the injuries, man. You know what I mean? I've seen you injured, you've seen me injured, but we keep going. What's your why for still playing sports even when you get injured? Because I know once this thing is healed, you're back. So what's your why?
Man, it's just the love of the game, man. It's just the love of sports. It's just the love to keep healthy, just to keep your body moving. It's always good. I believe it's really the best thing you can do for your child or for yourself, just to get your body moving. Sports is where it's at.
And I think one thing, because I've watched you, I've seen you play football, I've seen you play hockey. One thing that I can always say about you, you are never afraid to ask for the ball. The hardest thing in any sport is the player what attracts pressure. So I would to say, you played hockey longer than any sport. Do you translate your hockey skills or your hockey IQ to other sports, or you've always had that IQ? You're that first person to take that extra touch, to delay that pass, or it's something that came with age?
I think age plays a part, definitely. But growing up playing for some of the teams I played for, it was expected, So it's really grown into me, inviting pressure, trying to alleviate pressure from others as well, and just trying to run the game as well. So I think I like I like the ball. I like for everyone to play the ball through me. So pretty much, if there's an opportunity to get the ball, I'll call for it.
And I would say probably in any team you have seen, you've always been a natural leader. You've always seen someone who's seemed like a natural leader, and I can even tell, even when you're off the court, you're a natural leader in the dressing room. How, and one of the things when you're doing social sports or what I call amateur sports is to be in the middle, to be the center, to be the epicenter of youth, which is to be the epicenter of both youth and also maturity, because the old guys have passion, but sometimes they are not physically that level you need them to be, and the young guys are very physically motivated, but they're also extremely emotional. When they lose, they lose. So as the epicenter of that, what have you done to elevate that?
You always try to translate it onto the other players. Lead by example is the best way to go about it. So, if you're going to say something if you're going to say something to someone, you better make sure you also back it up by doing it as well. So I try lead by example in each and everything that I do. So if I'm telling you to run, best believe I'm also running. So that's how it is. Translate it. Do what you say others should do as well. So I think that's important.
Yeah, and there's a brilliant answer. And the last question is, like I said, today you're just like me. We're both watching the game, and you're a member of also hockey. And there's some really good teams here, and I can say you guys are one of them. And I want to ask one thing you guys took from the other teams today.
Intensity. I think playing with intensity. I think that's one of the things that we're lacking at this point in time. I would want to blame it on the fact that we've got people from all over the country coming through, so we don't always practice together. Actually, we never practice together, so that's a bit difficult on our part. But the intensity that comes with it, you know, you can see other players, if they're playing to win. If they're in the D, they're playing to score. And we need to have that within our DNA as well. So we used to call it killer instinct, you know, killer instinct. Have that in you. Like the moment you see goal, there's nothing else that's on your mind. You just want to go.
So you have that dog in you, as that
Exactly,
say.
pretty much, yeah. Wow.
And yeah, thank you for that, and thank you so much for giving us your time. I think we really enjoyed this conversation, because I know you said it was easy. So thank you so much, Sasha. Cheers, man.
Sure.